we're going upstairs to Chopper, and you saw the flames there. This is in the Jurupa Valley and in Riverside County, and we have only been talking about LA County, but we know that those winds are picking up in Riverside County and Orange County, Inland Empire. And so here we are now over, and if you look at the extreme nav, it says Bradford Street, and I think it said Rutledge.
Yeah, so this is the Santa Ana Valley River bottom. This was just upgraded to a third alarm. We have seen that the area that we've been talking about, that is the area that's a particularly dangerous situation for the next day, was focused on LA and Ventura counties. We saw red flag concerns for Riverside and San Bernardino County, not the area of particularly dangerous situation. This right here, pretty big flames. Thankfully, right now, not immediately burning any homes or anything. You can see some of the crews that are out there with their flashlights trying to get out there and trying to put this thing out before it grows bigger. Don't know in terms of getting air resources on top of this thing, how quickly they might arrive and how many of them may be, in LA County dealing with all of the fires here. But that's some significant flames. Adam Kruger, can you talk to us about the weather right now and the winds potentially in Jurupa Valley?
Yeah, sure can. We just got word of that, just as we showed it here live on air. So I was just looking at the Jurupa Valley area. We've got wind gusts around 20 to 25 miles per hour right now. Yes, that's breezy, certainly not extreme, although this is one of the areas where the winds will be ramping up as we get into tomorrow and into Wednesday as well. And wow, just kind of impressive to see some of the groundwork right there as they clear some of that brush. A lot of people on hand for that.
Yeah, I wonder if any of those are the inmate crews that are out there working as well, based off of the way that they're dressed there. We've seen some of those doing some really heroic work, cutting lines and making it easier for firefighters out there. Yeah, I mean, they're really right up to this fire. It's
good to see the hand crews getting a handle on this. I'm seeing a report that most of the fire has been knocked down already. I hope to get that confirmed because, again, we just got over it, and I'm trying to figure out when it actually started. But I'd like to see that report like that if we could work to get that confirmed. And those hand crews, doing incredible work out there.
And just kind of analyzing what we're seeing right here. I mean, it's not that real steep terrain like we've seen with some of the other fires, and you don't see embers just soaring across the screen. It's not like we have a super high wind event yet in this area. So it does seem like, and it's easy for me to say from here, but it seems like something that they can maybe and hopefully get under control a little bit. Certainly not an extreme scenario weather-wise compared to what we've seen at times over the last week or so.
No, and Adam, maybe as we look at these pictures, you can talk about some of that wind and fire concerns that we're talking about specifically in LA and Ventura counties where it's real danger potentially predicted.
Yeah, sure. And so, like we've been saying, we've got the red flag warning. It's in effect now for a large part of the area. Continues through Wednesday, which should give you some concern. We've got a multi-day Santa Ana wind event still in the works here. Like I mentioned earlier, in this specific spot, we've got some gusts around 20 to 25 right now. We do expect winds to increase there and in other areas. And the strongest winds out of this next peak that starts up tomorrow is generally going to be more so north of LA, the mountains, San Fernando Valley, those kind of general areas. But like we often see when we get these Santa Ana wind events, we kind of get the San Gabriel Mountains helping to divert the winds a little bit around the mountains. So we get usually a couple of pretty good swaths of wind. One would be up north of LA, up through the San Gabriel Mountains, and then the other swath is really essentially what we're looking at here, coming down through the Inland Empire and heading down towards Orange County and the Santa Ana Mountains in Orange County, which is part of why we call it the Santa Anas. And I don't want to get too far away from this compelling video here, but I can highlight that for you on a map. If you'd like to go to weather graphics at some point, you guys can let me know. But it will be the same forecast for a lot of the area is the fact that as we go into tomorrow, that's when these wind speeds begin to increase even more. So we'll get back to that video soon, I would imagine. Let me show you some of the current wind gusts right now, though, because there is this situation here, and this will be the case next day or two, where some areas will be protected from seeing strong winds, but others will get strong winds. And right now, again, it is pretty breezy. So as we look out near Riverside and around the Jurupa Valley, where we see this happening live right now, there are wind gusts there over 20 miles per hour, certainly not extreme. And And then we get into some of the higher elevations. For example, in the Santa Ana Mountains, we see a spot with wind gusts a little bit over 40 miles per hour as well. And then you see across north and northwest of LA, we've got some gusts now 20, 30, even near 40 miles per hour. Again, there's your red flag warning zone. It excludes a portion of Los Angeles down through Long Beach and down into the coastal areas of Orange County, because that's where the winds won't be as strong as what we see in these other spots. And the last thing I'll say is, again, it's that north of LA area highlighted in pink where we have the particularly dangerous red flag warning. Goes into effect tomorrow morning into noon on Wednesday.